My name is Kundalini, and this is Honey. And today we will be doing a Kundalini Yoga Kriya to help us move energy through the low 3 chakra centers. So the timing is right for us to kind of move energy out of the low 3 chakras. First, second, and third chakra are foundational energy centers within the body. And these foundational energy centers, much like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, are foundational for our psyche. So safety, security, stability is kind of reflective of the root chakra, the first energy center. Our creative sexual energy lives in the second chakra, navel center area. And then the third chakra, solar plexus area, is reflective of power and identity. And so when we are in positions of challenge, like we are right now, facing kind of the societal challenges and personal challenges presented with the restrictions being imposed by the coronavirus, we're challenged in these centers. And we can create energy blocks that leave us in an experience of fear and resistance, that leave us in an inability to express our creativity or a block in the flow of sexual energy. And also feeling disempowered or powerless, or maybe because we're out of work or we've been relegated to the house, our sense of identity is somewhat compromised. So this Kriya activity is going to be called the Kriya for the instinctual self, and it's going to help us move through some of those energy centers to help us rise up into the higher centers of consciousness and operate more fully as human beings. All right, so let's put our hands together at the heart center. We tune in with the Adi mantra. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Bring it down. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. 3 times through. Take a deep breath in through the nose, root lock, eyes drawn up to third eye center. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Suspend the breath. Root lock, third eye focus. And exhale, release. Before I get into more detail about the Kriya, I want to go into one of the pranayamas that we'll be doing throughout the practice. It's called Breath of Fire. And if you're new to Kundalini Yoga, and maybe this is the first time you've practiced with me, I'd like to make sure that you know what Breath of Fire is before we move into the physical practice. So Breath of Fire is a pumping navel breath. So the navel and the solar plexus will be pumping, and the breath moves through the nose. And sometimes Breath of Fire will be through the mouth. It all depends. I'm going to start you with the Breath of Fire through the mouth. Okay, so we're going to pant like a dog. And you see the belly moving. Now let's just transfer that breath from the mouth into the nose. Okay? So everyone has it? Great. I want to read you a couple comments about this Kriya before we begin to give you an understanding of how this can help you move through some of the energy challenges that we have when we're experiencing fear or experiencing restriction of some sort in our life. It affects the psyche, and the mind is not just in the brain. The mind is throughout the whole body. The mind exists within the 7 chakras. And so when you think about the mind as it relates to the lowest 3, safety, security, stability, creativity, identity, and power. And when we're faced with challenge and restrictive experience like isolation, loss of work, illness, fear, lack, right? People hoarding toilet paper and food and all sorts of things. That affects the mind, that affects the psyche, and that affects our nervous system and our health. Okay, so what Kundalini Yoga's intention to do is, in this case specifically, is to help us move through those restrictions and let the energy rise so we can start to sit in higher states of consciousness, higher areas of the mind, in relation to heart, compassion, throat, our ability to communicate and speak truth, intuition, connection to 6th chakra, 3rd eye center, and crown, connection to divine source energy. So when we rise above these denser energy centers and move up into the higher centers, we start to thrive as opposed to survive. And that's not only physically, but energetically, spiritually, and emotionally. The comments to this Kriya for the instinctual self, are as follows. As human beings, we share certain instincts with animals, but we also have the ability to direct, shape, and give meaning to the expression of these instincts. Many of the strongest instincts find expression and representation through the lower triangle of chakras. That's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, which include 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The physical correlates of these chakras are rectum, sex organs, and navel point. So those are going to be the areas that we're focusing a lot of our physical work today. Dysfunctions of the body are reflected in the mind and vice versa. A serious neurotic behavior or self-destructive attitude will also appear as an imbalance in the lower triangle. One of the most direct ways to correct such an imbalance is to physically stimulate the nervous and glandular systems in order to alter the instinctual and learned patterns in the lower chakras. And now when we come into experiences of restriction and challenge, like we are right now with this social isolation and loss of work and things like that, we start to fall into learned patterns, right? Learned patterns of response to fear, restriction, isolation. And so we're looking to, through this work, offset or restructure these learned patterns. Once this is achieved and a new energy balance is attained, then through analytic self-assessment and meditation, it is possible to affect the holistic change in behavior which is desired. Excuse me. So we're going to be affecting energy patterns of the low 3 centers. Energy patterns that take effect in the mind and in the emotions and in the energy centers. So, with that said, let's start by having the hands on the knees. Hang on one moment here, I just want to check on one thing. Not hands on the knees, hands on the feet. So soles of the feet are coming to touch together. I'm lifting up through my heart, I'm rolling my shoulders down and back. I have a slight chin lock in toward the chest, so I'm lengthening through the back of the neck. The eyes are closed. You can grab onto the big toe with the peace fingers. You can grab around the sides of the feet, and if they're inaccessible because of challenges in flexibility, you can also grab onto the ankles. And I'm going to have a rhythmic pattern breathing. Inhale, lifting my knees. Exhale, dropping the knees down. So it's going to be kind of a butterfly breath. And what we're doing here is loosening the lower spine and stimulating the flow of sexual energy. Eyes are closed. And the breath is in a pattern Hi, buddy. Nice and rhythmic. About 30 more seconds. Keep it feeling loose in the hip joints. Keep that breath moving. And the cues on the breath here are that it's a powerful breath. It's not indicating anything aside from that. So we're not doing necessarily a breath of fire, we're doing a powerful breath. Take a deep inhale. Suspend the breath, root lock. And exhale. Gently release and come on to the belly. So I'm going to come down onto my belly. My hands are going to be under my shoulders. And I'll show the full expression of the pose, and then I'll show a modification of the pose. So a full expression of the pose is I'm coming up into a Cobra. That's an inhale, and on the exhale, with the toes remaining turned down, I'm pressing into a platform pose. Okay? So that's an inhale and an exhale. Inhale, exhale. I'm opening up energy in my second and third chakra here. Inhale, exhale. Now, if you have a tender low back, the cueing will be putting you into Sphinx pose, starting with a low cobra here, and then exhaling up into a platform on the forearms. Inhale, exhale. Okay, so picking whichever works best for you, here we go. You're going to feel the work in the upper body, shoulders, biceps, triceps, navel center. Powerful, strong action in the navel center. So we're clearing sexual energy. We're also opening up energy center at the third chakra, which is related to power, willpower, and identity. Let's go for 5 more. Knees come down, press it back, child's pose. Breathing in. The moments of stillness in Kundalini Yoga, like this, are equally as important as the moments of movement. In these times of stillness, we're allowing energy to assimilate into the energy centers, letting blocked energy clear, and also letting the nervous system adjust from sympathetic into parasympathetic, re-educating the nervous system and how to fluctuate between the two much more easily. We tend to get stuck in that fight or flight, and the nervous system forgets how to fall back into that rest and digest. Let's take one more deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Let's rise up. Inhale. Okay. So, let me grab a block quick. If you have one, you might find that you need it. I'll show you the modification that includes the block. The next position we're going to be in is in a crow pose. My hips sink low, my knees are out wide. Now, if you need, you may be able to place a block under the hips. That way you can sit a little bit more upright. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to interlace the hands right in front of the heart. Let the tail sink, eyes drawn up to third eye center. Lift through the heart center and begin breath of fire. Pump that belly. Pay attention to the resistance in the mind, resistance in the nervous system. More seconds. Inhale. Suspend the breath, engage the root lock. So clench sex organ, rectum, navel muscles, draw the eyes up. Keep the breath held. And exhale. Ground your hands, extend the legs out in front of you. And come laying down onto the back. So that last exercise we did in crow circulates the energy of the low 3 chakras. And it also circulates energy into the hips and the intestines. So we want to allow energy to move through the intestines to promote aponic release. We talk about prana a lot in yoga in general. That's the intake of life force energy. Apana is the elimination energy. So you can take in all the life force energy you want, but if you're not releasing, you're not allowing for that cyclical flow, you become on a sort of psychological level, what Freud would call anal retentive. You become constipated, literally and metaphorically, and you have a hard time letting go, releasing. So aponic energy is very important not only on the physical level, but on the level of the psyche, the level of the energetic bodies. Okay, so we're laying down on the back. Palms are face down on the ground. If you tend to have a tender low back, you can slide the hands under the pelvis. I'm going to begin breath of fire. Nope, no breath of fire, just powerful breathing. Legs lift up to inhale, exhale to come down. Head is grounded. Inhale. Strengthening the navel center, resetting the navel center, right? This is our center of sexual energy, center of power. When we have energy blocks in this area, We tend to be holding anger, rage, resentment, right? And that causes a lot of illness in this area of our bodies. Keep that powerful breath. More seconds. Last time, inhale. And exhale, release. And just stay relaxed for a moment. Let everything soften, let everything release. You may feel the pulse. If you put your hand on the navel, you may feel the pulse at the navel center. That's a good sign that the energy is reset properly at the navel center. Okay. Hands come under the knees. Let's rock it up. Cross over at the shins and come onto the belly. All right? I'm going to press onto the tops of my feet. I'm going to interlace my hands at the base of my spine. And I'm going to lift up into a boat pose. And my notes are that this opens up tension out of the low back and opens up the nerve channels in the area of the solar plexus. Okay? So interlace, lift, draw the knuckles toward the heels, pressing onto the tops of the feet, soften the glutes, breath of fire. Stay engaged, stay focused. More seconds. Deep inhale. Lift, engage, root lock, third eye. Exhale, release. Press yourself back, child's pose. Knees wide, forehead to the ground. Long, deep breathing. Deep breath into the nose. Rise it up. I'm going to extend my legs out in front of me. And this is an intentional period of rest. So we're coming down onto the back. And this period of rest and then the back rolls that come after this are intentional to allow for the distribution of energy throughout the body. So the best you can do in your interest here right now is allow the limbs to feel heavy. Allow the breath to be very slow and deep. See if you can feel the energy pulsing through the body. See if you can feel blood pulsing through you. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale. Blink the eyes open. Knees come into the chest. Hands come under the hinges of the knees. And I inhale, rock up. Exhale, rock back. And just rolling in the length of the spine as you coordinate with the movement and the breath. So inhale, lift up. Exhale back. Again, we're distributing the energy through the central channel of the spine. The energy channel that runs the course of the spine is called the Shushmana. And we're allowing that energy to be distributed throughout this whole central channel. So think of this action as energy work. Eyes are closed. And just massaging the muscles that support the spine. And then roll it back. Sorry, honey. And I'm going to come into a shoulder stand. So my knees come up over my eyebrows. I walk my arms in, grab onto my low back, and extend the legs to the sky. From here, chin to the chest, keep the gaze up toward the toes. Begin breath with fire. More seconds. Deep inhale. Now exhale, bend the knees. Extend the legs over the back of the head. I'm going to move myself back a little bit. Come into plow pose. Okay, hands can either be interlaced, the ground behind you, or the hands can be on the low back. Breath of fire. 30 seconds. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly come down. Knees to the chest. Side out. Blink your eyes open. And let's rock ourselves up. And come into celibate pose. So celibate pose, for some of you, if you're tight in the quads and in the knees, like I tend to be, makes it a little challenging for your feet to be down around and your butt to be on the ground. So sometimes putting a block under the hips makes it easier. And we're going to do Sat Kriya. All right, Sat Kriya is the last part of this physical exercise. And this is kind of like the cherry on top. What Sat Kriya does here is it takes all the energy that we've just sort of moved and unblocked and all the clearings that have occurred, and we're going to distribute it throughout the whole body. So Sat Kriya involves a mudra with the hands over the head. And this is a mudra that helps open up the crown chakra energy center. This is the highest energy center and the most subtle in the body. And we're going to chant Sat Nam. The sound Sat means truth, Nam means name or identity. So as we chant Sat, we pull up our root lock, engage navel center. As we chant Nam, we release the energy. So it's a pulsing and rhythmic massage in the intestines. And what it also is sort of a provocation to move the energy upward in the body. Okay? Here we go. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Side out. Eyes drawn up to third eye center. Here we go. Sat Nam. 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 Inhale. Root lock, third eye focus, and reach those arms up. Engage. Keep the breath held. Keep the posture. Exhale. Inhale. Root lock, third eye focus. Engage all the muscles in the body. Reach. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands down around the body. And just sit for a moment, long deep breathing. Gently extend the legs out in front of you and come laying down onto the back. Feet and thighs turn out natural. Palms face up next to the hips. Shoulders down away from the ears, chin to the chest, jaw softens, ears fall back, eyes sink back, and relax. Take 2 more breaths. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Draw the knees into the chest. Gently rock yourself up seated. Cross-leg position. Hands at the heart center. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Suspend it. Bring folded hands to third eye center. Blessing that you'll be guided by intuition and have the wisdom and courage to follow it. Exhale, bowing forward. Sat Nam. Namaste. Thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you feel your energy cleared. Keep in mind that yogic practice, whether it's Kundalini Yoga, whether it's flow yoga, whether it's meditation, breath work, these are all really powerful tools that will help you move through challenging times. Whether it's fear, insecurity, instability, fear of the unknown, all of these things that have been coming up for a lot of us lately, health challenges, we can apply yogic technology to bring us to our highest versions of ourselves in order to approach these challenges very mindfully. So keep that in mind. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.